Hello everyone! So I finally got my ass back to YouTube because I've been completely missing in action for the last few months. I think it's at least been a few months since I've recorded one, so that kind of makes me sad because that wasn't my goal. I wanted to be consistent. I want to be able to actually develop an audience and have people keep coming back, but I need to actually put out videos to do that. So I'm here today. This is my second quarter of graduate school, so this quarter I know what I'm doing now. I don't feel like I'm just kind of like aimlessly going through and being miserable. And also last quarter, I don't think I talked about this in any video, but I was very sick, I guess I could say. I basically felt like I was in a fog for like weeks. I don't know if it was anxiety or, just like stress and anxiety or if it was something else, but I got blood work done and it turned out that I had a vitamin D deficiency that was pretty severe. So I started taking supplements and got that, I think, under control because it's better this quarter. But like I said, I don't know if it was that or if it was anxiety and the deficiency. They think it may have come from my vegetarian diet and like mostly vegan. I'm kind of like a cheating vegan, but I don't eat a lot of dairy products and I definitely don't eat any meat. So they theorized kind of that might be what it is. So for all you vegetarians, vegans, please take your supplements. I'm sorry, I don't listen to people who say you don't need them. You do need them. If you're taking something away from your body, you need to put something back in. So that's sort of my opinion. I may get people who completely disagree, but that's all I'm saying. I struggled. So, and I wasn't taking anything. I wasn't taking B12. I wasn't taking anything that I was supposed to be taking. So, my bad, but also like just be careful to it. I wasn't feeling myself at all. It was actually kind of scary. Like I basically just felt like I was gonna pass out all the time. Like I was really lightheaded. And then I got these like burning like my eyes would burn in water, and it made it really hard because, as a lot of you know, I've talked about it in my other videos. I am a social worker, and I do like clinical social work right now. I do counseling with kids, so I'm seeing anywhere from 6 to 7 kids a day doing counseling, and it's important for me to be present in that time, and I was just so like, didn't feel good, so it was really hard. And then also like classes, obviously, and exams and whatnot, so it was stressful. But I'm back. I'm here, hopefully to stay. Like I'm gonna keep doing them. I'm not gonna promise like a weekly video or anything like that. I don't even know if I have the audience to care right now, but I'm hoping I can get there. And if I do, I don't want to kind of reel people in and then be disappointing. So, okay, enough. That's enough. So, two of my favorite things in the world are makeup and books. And I also put like education under books. So, I love school. So, but I consider that like books under education wing. And then my makeup is part of the way that I express myself, like my alternative style. And those two things are very important to me. So, I'm going to talk about my favorite makeup for the last season or maybe 2 seasons. Some of it's recent, some of it I got last season in the fall. So I'm going to share that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the makeup. So I've been really using NYX a lot lately, mostly because I'm super broke but I need quality stuff because my skin's very sensitive, and of course I only use cruelty-free makeup. So I use NYX. I don't have to use NYX, but I do. I'm going to go ahead and start with face makeup and that related stuff. So, say, there's quite a few things here. So, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Kat Von D Lock It Foundation. So, I've been using that, and I use Light 45. It's an investment, but it's one that's important to me because I like that her proceeds, a lot of them go to animal organizations and stuff, and also she just makes quality products, so I like that. I've been using NYX Mineral Set It, Don't Fret It finishing powder. So it's matte, it's lightweight. It's not, I mean, it's concentrated, but not to the point where you're like, have a big fucking blotch of makeup on your face. And then I just got this actually today, and this is the NYX Illuminator. NYX, NYX, whatever. So I really like it. Like, it's very sheer, glittery, nice, just what an illuminator is supposed to do. Hollow contour. I like the name too. I've already cracked it, of course. So this is the contour. I love this contour. It's amazing. It's definitely intense though, so careful. It goes on strong. And then also just the matte finish spray by NYX. This stuff has been really great because I have long days. Oh, just dropped. I have long days and it's important for it to be set and stay. Also, like sunglasses. I live in freaking California, so it's really sunny all the time, even in winter. Although we've had pretty good winter. We've had a pretty like gloomy winter, which I like lately. But it's starting to come out as spring approaches, so I'm gonna need that even more. Here's my nails. My nails have not been done, and I made a promise to myself, like if I get my nails, I'm gonna actually keep them up. But yeah, that takes money. My money apparently goes to this stuff. Also, Doll Eye NYX mascara, cheap, and it works really well. Like I don't know if you guys can. I'll just get close. I think it works well, and I have pretty like shabby eyelashes, so I like it. The last one, and this one I wasn't really sure at first. I was like, I feel like it's not doing anything, and I mean, it was kind of random. Like it was a kind of a random impulse buy, so I wasn't really sure. But now that I've used it today, it's very glittery, and it's the My Pretty Zombie. What color is this? Law Firm Lamb Cake. Random, but yeah, it's very. I'm just gonna kind of. It's very like you probably can't really see it. It's very like translucent. That is how I would describe it accurately. Like it's very translucent, and you can't really tell that it's on initially. If you want kind of like a glittery, sheer, just kind of finish to your upper eyelid, I just bought what I'm wearing now is the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick. So they're matte finish. I just got it today and they're amazing. And this one is Pink Lust Passion Rose. So it's very bright pink. Very bright pink. Like this doesn't really do it justice. Like it's very, very bright. I've had it on for probably an hour now, 2 hours maybe, and it's doing really well. The girl at Target said that she's eaten with it and it does well when she eats with it, but I haven't done that yet. So, yeah. So this is my new lipstick, and also ColourPop. Ooh, okay. ColourPop. The thing is, the brand is already coming off of it, but oh well. ColourPop, and it's Dr. M, and it's a green. I like it. I've had fun with it. It's very good with like a smoky eye or just like liner or whatever. So yeah, that's the makeup portion. Cats are playing in bags right now, so I don't even know how she got in here because I locked them out. She's a fucking ninja. Betty. Betty, come here. I'll show you guys. Come here, Bee. Under the bed she goes. All right, elusive Betty. We'll try to get her later. Okay, so that concludes the makeup portion. I'm going to move on to the book portion, and today the theme that I picked for my book sharing is going to be mental illness, mental health. So for me, I'm within the field of social work, there's mental health, there's like child welfare, substance abuse, there's just like geriatrics, working with elderly people. There's a lot of different categories and things to do under social work, but my sort of passion has been mental health, through experience, like many of us, and just through knowing people in my life who suffered from mental illness and knowing how real it is and how much of a gash it can put in people's lives. And so since I was probably like 12 years old, I have been interested in it and read books about it and stuff. So I'm fascinated by it, but also touched by it. So I don't want to make it this like pathological, weird interest that I have, but in a way, it has been. And also, it's like I said, I feel very like both sympathetic and empathetic to people who are suffering. So that's what this book share is going to kind of be. I have a little book club on my channel, and I never had that. Never thought about that before to do that, but I have hundreds of books. I literally counted the other day. I have 200 books that I've just collected over the years, and I'm definitely that person that likes to have books. I also like to read them. Got a big stack here. Just these are the ones I'm going to show you. And this is not an exhaustive list or, sharing. This is just some of them that are out there. I'll start with this one, and this is more of like a historical perspective of mental illness, and it's Mad in America. So Robert Whitaker, and you can see here it has a man in a straitjacket, and basically it goes through just throughout centuries of our history. I believe it's just the U.S. Yeah, it is. Different eras of mental health and how we've treated people. Very different than today, but also very similar in certain ways. So it talks about like hydrotherapy and electroshock therapy. Apparently that's a hard one to say. We still do dabble in a little bit today, but we've mostly retired that form, thank God, or whoever. So I thought this was really good. It says one of Discover Magazine's best science books of 2002, and it was, it was a while ago. There's a picture of Rob Whitaker. I don't know who he is, but whatever. Get it. It's a good book. Don't know how many people are familiar with Temple Grandin, but she's a really great writer. She writes a lot about animals. Thinking in Pictures, My Life with Autism. So this is Temple Grandin there on the cover. She just kind of writes about like her experience with autism and how it shaped her and who she is today. She's an adult with autism. I also have other books that I forgot, but they're more related to like animal welfare because she's also like an animal rights person. Discusses a lot about like how animals are beneficial to us, which sounds very selfish, but just to like, relay the message to people who don't believe that animals have like worth. Basically, she discusses the human animal relationship, which is one of my big passions and something I'll probably write my thesis on, but that's what she discusses a lot in her other books. So that's just an example of her writing of her actual experience with autism, which it's a good read. This book is Sybil, and there's a book about it as well. Sally Hansen, I think her name is. Oh, I think her name's Sally Hansen. I don't know. She is in a movie about this book. So this book discusses multiple personality disorder, which is now known as dissociative identity disorder. I thought that was going to be a hard one to say too. And so yeah, it talks about, I think she has 16 personalities. So it says there, woman possessed by 16 personalities. You can see the cat hair and dog hair that is all over my books because animal hair life all day, every day. So here there's some pictures of like, as pictures again, just kind of like what she's drawn, what she drew. And this is a true story, like it said. And it just discusses sort of a girl who was abused, and as a result, she developed all these personalities that I believe were like defense mechanisms against her abuse. And that's what a lot of the research says about DID, is that these personalities come out because this person is trying to cover up some horrific incident that's happened to them, and that's how they deal with it, is through these different personalities. So many people don't believe in it. I do. If it's real to the person, then it's real. That's my thing with schizophrenia, with whatever, and we'll get to schizophrenia, I think. But yeah, if it's real to the person, it's real. Don't invalidate someone by saying it's not real. But this one's Girl Interrupted by Susanna Kaysen, and this is also a movie. It's also a book, just so you didn't know, but it's also a movie, major motion picture from Columbia Pictures. So it is about a girl with what they say is borderline personality disorder, and she is taken to a hospital after she tries to kill herself with like aspirin. I'm not going to give it away. Anyway, basically she gets to know all these other teenage girls that are on the same hospital wing, and Angelina Jolie's in the movie. She's super awesome in the movie. Like, I think she's awesome all the time, but she's really awesome in the movie. So yeah. So it talks a lot about like mental illness in this book. This is a really good book too. This one I just got, and I haven't been able to read it. I've kind of skimmed through it, but I haven't been able to read it a lot. But it's Brain on Fire, My Month of Madness, another Susanna Cahalan, and it's a New York Times bestseller. My boyfriend got it for me for Christmas, and like I said, I haven't been able to read it, but basically, it looks like it's about a girl who is in a huge career as like a newspaper editor, and has everything going for her, and then just breaks. Like, she just loses it, and she ends up, hospitalized and having a diagnosis of. The last one I have here is a little different. This is more of the like pathological aspects of mental illness, which, like I said, I do dip my hands in that a little bit, but this is The Science of Evil. So it's on empathy and the origins of cruelty. So this one I really like because it ties mental illness to like criminal activity with also like a touch of empathy and how empathy is involved in the evolution of a criminal. I don't like that word, but a person who commits crimes, violent crimes. And it talks a lot about like borderline personality disorder, autism, narcissism, like true narcissism, not the way that we decide to call it now. So narcissistic personality disorder. I think probably schizophrenia is in here, antisocial personality, which is your typical like psychopath, which we don't usually use in the mental health world, but I guess it happens, and I guess some people use it. So anyway, so yeah, this is really good. Right now, where I'm at, we're talking about a woman with borderline personality disorder and how it came about, and just sort of like how empathy played a role in that. Empathy is very important. Of course, I don't know if everybody really knows, but empathy is the way that we can relate to other people. We may not feel the same thing that they're feeling. Like sympathy would be you actually like you understand because you've been through it. Empathy is more like you can imagine how it feels. You can imagine how it feels to hurt someone, so you try not to do it. You can imagine how it feels to stab someone. I mean, you don't know, but you know that it would hurt someone or that it would kill them and that that would be sad because it would end their life, and so you don't do it. But there are people out there who unfortunately don't have that level of empathy. No fault to them because that's sort of an emotion that's developed through you know, just it develops, and whether it develops in childhood, it's sort of cushioned with parents, like it's pushed for parents, influenced from parents, and if you do not have the proper parents to do that, who are not doing it adequately or at all, then you are unfortunately going to grow up without that part of your brain developing. So that's where Science of Evil talks about it. I don't know, I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, it's a professor of developmental psychopathology, so I like to only read these types of books when they're by like PhDs or MDs or something like that, psychologists, psychiatrists, because otherwise you're just getting people's opinions, and you want to have like not a really empirical evidence, but you want to have like a credible source when you're reading about this stuff because it's science. So I have other ones, and I'll do this again because this was actually really fun. I actually enjoyed doing this a lot. My nerdy side gets to be paid attention to, so that's nice. And I'm able to, like I said, connect what I do as a career and what I do at school, like academically, to my subculture, because I feel that there are a lot of really educated, interested people who are interested in the same thing in the alternative subculture. So this is a perfect way for me to reach out to both audiences, whether I have social work majors, social workers, psychologists, their MFTs, like whatever it is, and also my alternative folks who want to hear about music and makeup and movies and that type of thing. I want to have it all. I literally want to have it all here because I feel like I'm a pretty well-rounded person, and I want that to come across. So any comments, leave me some feedback, whatever, negative, positive, I can deal with it. I hear a whole lot worse in the field that I work in, so I'm sure I've heard worse. So yeah, if you guys can relate to any of the mental health issues that I talked about, or you've read the books, let me know what you thought. And I will have a video coming out again because, like I said, I'm really motivated. I'm feeling better, and I'm ready to entertain you guys as much as I can. At least that's the goal. So I hope everyone has a really great day, and live your life with intention. That's kind of my last words for you guys. Just make sure every day has an intention, because life can be really exciting and fun if you just get out there. And if you are struggling with a mental health issue, please Google some of the suicide helplines, the mental health hotlines. Like there's tons. I will include some of them in the box, the description box. Some of my sort of social work go-to resources for people, because I know that either this can bring things up, or people are Googling or YouTubing, searching things like this because they're feeling like it's hard to bear. And like I said, you can always reach out to me, but if you're really struggling, if it's an emergency, please call a hotline, or please go to an emergency room and get yourself help, please. It's not worth waiting, basically, or letting it happen. So, okay, everyone, have a great day. Mwah.